Hello students, welcome back. Hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to start another topic based on companies, that is the types of company. We have discussed the features, merits and demerits of company form of business, and in today's lecture we are going to discuss how many kinds of companies are there. So the companies can be divided into three categories on the basis of ownership, that is private limited company, public limited company and one person company. The very first is the private limited company. Private company, as per the section 2 subsection 68 of the Companies Act 2013, a private company means a company by which by its articles means the rules and regulations, restrict the rights to transfer its share. That means a private company has certain rules which restrict its transfer of shares. That means you cannot easily sell off the shares of private company to someone else. You have to take prior permissions. There is no full freedom to sell off the shares of a private company. There are certain restrictions in selling the shares of a private company, which by its article has minimum 2 and a maximum of 200 members, excluding the present and past employees. Another thing for private company is that it would have minimum 2 persons and maximum there can be 200 people. That does not include the existing employees and the past employees, but apart from that, the maximum number of members that a private limited company can has is 200 members. Another thing is that it prohibits any invitation to public to subscribe for any securities of the company. Securities means shares, debentures, bonds. Any private limited company cannot invite to the public to subscribe to any shares or debentures. That means they cannot ask money from public. All the money that they get from their members are the members who are there known or to whom the shares are privately placed. They cannot raise money from the general public because they are a private limited company. Another point is a private limited company will always have private limited at the end of its name. So a private company cannot restrict the transfers of its share. It has minimum 2 and maximum 200 members, and it does not raise any amount from the general public. Then comes the public company. So the basic definition that is given in the act is any company which is not private company is a public company. A public company is a company which is not a private company. As per the Companies Act, a public company is one which has minimum 7 members and maximum there is no limit. In private company there were 2 members and the restriction was up to 200 members. But in case of public company, minimum you need to get 7 members, but after that there is no limit. You can have any number of members, any number of shareholders in a public company. There is no restriction on transfer of securities. You can easily buy and sell shares and or other securities of a company. There is no restriction on the transfer, and the public company is not prohibited to invite general public to subscribe to its securities, but it is the one which actually borrows or attracts the people to invest money into their business. So public company is the one which deals with public, and private company doesn't deal with public in arranging the finance. However, a private company which is a subsidiary of public company is also treated as a public company. Now the question comes, what is a subsidiary company? Subsidiary company means a company whose 50% shares are held by some other company. The company holding the shares are called holding company, and the one whose shares are get holded is called subsidiary company. So if there is a small company which is a private company and 50% more than 50% of shares are acquired by some other big company which is a public company, so the private company will also be treated as a public company because it is now part of the public company. The public limited companies can again be of two types: limited by guarantee and limited by shares. Company limited by guarantee means a company having the liability of its member limited by the memorandum to such amount as members may respectively undertake to contribute to the assets of company in the event of its being about that. So in this case, the liability of members are limited up to the amount that they have guaranteed. आपने 10 लाख की गारंटी है तो यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर 10 लाख रुपीज, द अमाउंट दैट यू हैव ऑलरेडी साइंड. In case of shares, the liability is only up to the amount of share या amount invested या amount of shares purchased. You only have to pay the amount pending on shares. You don't have to pay anything apart from that. Company is limited by shares means a company having the liability of its member limited by the memorandum to amount if any unpaid on the shares respectively held by them. So if there is any amount which you have to pay, like a shares of 10 rupees and you have paid only 7, then the remaining 3 rupees is your responsibility. Apart from this, you don't have to pay a single penny to the company. Then comes the third company which has just emerged by the 2013 Act, which is called the one-person company. This was not in existence before this act. This company has now emerged after this act. The 2013 Act introduced a new type of entity into the existing list. That is, apart from forming a public or private company, the 2013 Act enabled the formation of a new entity, a one-person company or an OPC. An OPC means a company with only one person as its members. There is minimum one and maximum one member. There is no other member apart from that person. Rule 3 is subsection 1 provides that only a natural person and who is an Indian citizen and resident. Three conditions are there. He should be a natural person, he should be citizen of India and resident in India. That means no NRI allowed, no foreigner allowed, shall be eligible to incorporate an OPC. The rules are there that no person shall be eligible to incorporate more than one OPC. That means a single person can open only a single OPC. He cannot open more than one OPC or become nominee in more than one such company. Either he can become an owner or a nominee. He cannot become both, and that too only in one company. Another thing, if an OPC is in operation and certain things happen, that means if its capital or sales exceed a certain limit, then it has to get converted into a private limited or a public limited company. OPC to compulsory convert itself into public or private company in certain cases, where the paid up share capital of an OPC exceed 50 lakh rupees or its average annual turnover, that means the sales during the relevant period, exceeds 2 crore rupees. If any of these things happen, it shall cease to be entitled to continue as one person company. It has to get converted either in public company or to a private company. That will depend upon the situation. So these were the forms of company or the types of company on the basis of ownership. In the next video, we will discuss furthermore about their differences. Till then, take care and have a great day.